Tonight in a deadly mass shooting in Riviera Beach. It happened at Azure Estates last night. 5 people were shot and 1 person was killed. Reporter Ari Height tells us what police say led up to the shooting and what they think is a possible motive.
The police chief here in Riviera Beach says it appears as though the shooter was having some kind of a mental breakdown, hearing voices in his head. In the end, 5 people were shot, 1 person was killed. The shooting began around 6:15 Monday night inside the Azure Estates community in Riviera Beach. A man police have identified as 20-year-old Terrell Gibson of West Palm Beach was visiting a friend in the community and felt he was being harassed. Investigators say Gibson told them voices in his head insisted he get a gun and shoot people.
The spirits told him to kill the demons, and at which time he shot the people that's in front of him.
I'm just gonna let my soul talk. I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm gonna let my soul talk. Take the path I know.
All right, so y'all may have or may have not heard about the situation in Riviera Beach over at the Azure Estates apartments where the 4 people shot and now 2 dead. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit, being from the area, mainly on the part about when he was in court and he said that something told him to kill all the demons and devils or whatever it was that he said. The thing that I wanted to touch on about that is people don't really understand. Well, people understand, but people don't really understand that certain areas hold energy. You know what I mean? And an incident happens and it becomes headlines, and you know, people are like, yeah, of course, it's a tragedy. The areas that things have been happening in for years, I mean, decades and decades and decades, that energy still lingers in those areas. You know what I mean? So when people say stuff like what he said, you know, people tend to kind of push it off as crazy or, you know, whatever the case may be, mental issues, but they tend to forget about the spiritual side of things. You know what I mean? So like I said, being from the area a little bit, I know the history of that complex a little more. So I'm going to kind of play back a couple of clips from the past, you know what I mean, to give you a little gist of that area, you know what I mean? And then I'll let you make your decision on how you feel about areas holding energy, negative energy, and all of that different kind of stuff. Leave it down in the comments how you feel about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and play these couple of clips for you. We're gonna get to it.
Complex is all happening in the 1500 block of Martin Luther King Boulevard in the Stony Brook subdivision there. We'll go right to News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers, who is on scene in Riviera Beach with this breaking news story. Tanya.
This was years ago.
We are live at the Stony Brook Apartments, which is located off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, not too far away from Congress Avenue. Being told that there was a stabbing between a tenant and a manager. Joining us this evening is Roseanne Brown from Riviera Beach. Can you tell us exactly what you know happened?
Yeah, we responded to a call of a dispute between a tenant and an on-site manager. Unfortunately, that dispute ended with the tenant being stabbed. We transported her with possibly life-threatening injuries, but it appears, I believe, that her condition has subsequently been upgraded to stable.
And just recently, and do we know what was going on as far as the dispute? And you said that it was outside of the apartment, correct?
Absolutely. It was outside of the apartment. We have not yet determined what the basis of that dispute is. We are still questioning the on-site manager.
There go another incident. This was years back too, also.
Victim was reportedly shot in the face in the Riviera Beach apartment complex. Police say the shooting happened around 10:30 this morning. When emergency crews arrived, they found 1 person shot lying in the courtyard of Stony Brook Apartments on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Now, police say the juvenile was taken to a nearby hospital where the victim later died. Investigators searched the area for hours for a potential suspect after reports that the person climbed over the complex wall to get away. The shooting remains under investigation.
In the death of a 17-year-old in Riviera Beach, Najar Frazier was And you can drag in as many samples
Shot
as you
overnight
want.
at
There
the
are no
Stony Brook
credits.
Apartments.
So I wanna
Officers
add one
found
more
his
thing to my
body
song,
near
and I
the
think
M
vocals would
building.
sound really good
He was
here. I'm
pronounced
gonna
dead at the
search for
hospital.
smooth
Police say Frazier lived in the
R&B
apartment
vocals.
complex.
Already in the spotlight.
24-year-old Melvin Horn has been identified as the man shot today.
It happened at the Stony Brook apartment complex off Martin Luther King Boulevard. As News Channel 5's Katie Johnson reports, the complex is already under investigation for alleged poor living conditions.
The shooting happened around noon today, right out on the street behind that mobile command unit. Now, police are asking for the public to come forward with any information that could lead to an arrest.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Someone had to have seen it. Someone has information that they've not yet provided to police.
The victim has been identified as 24-year-old Melvin Horn. Police say he didn't live in the Stony Brook community, but he is from Riviera Beach. Police haven't pinpointed any suspects yet, but they say there was a traffic stop nearby where PBSO deputies pulled over some persons of interest.
At this point, they're still talking to those people, and we're moving forward with the rest of the investigation.
Residents tell us this isn't the first time something like this has happened in this community. They say living here has gotten unbearable. The living conditions are so bad, investigators from HUD in Washington, D.C. had to come down and check it out. On top of that, they must live in fear after witnessing someone get killed in daylight right outside their homes.
Anybody, kids could have got shot because they playing back and forth. Somebody, why they shooting that dude? What if a child would have got shot? You know what I'm saying?
Hours after the shooting, residents are forced to stay outside the police tape, blocking them off from their homes and any trace of security still left behind in this shaken community. In Riviera Beach, Katie Johnson, WPTV News Channel 5.
So
they had roof damage, and that's how they repaired it. They just put a piece of board on top of it. That's what they call a repair. That's what Global Ministries does.
Senator Marco Rubio touring apartments filled with mold, no working air conditioning, leaking ceilings, and a permeating air of despair. The low-income units are owned by a company called GMF, which gets taxpayer money to the tune of over $500,000 a year. But Rubio says they won't fix up their units here and in Orlando and Jacksonville, and he's trying to change the law that allows them to continue operating.
They take HUD money. They got federal money from the taxpayer they get to maintain these units, and they're not maintaining them. So where'd that money go? Where did the money go that they're getting to maintain these units? If they're not spending it on maintenance, that means they're keeping it. And that's how the individual, Reverend Hamlin, that runs this facility, runs this company, makes $500,000 a year.
Is a total transformation, Shane. What used to be a dangerous, unhealthy neighborhood called the Stony Brook Apartments is now totally renovated. It's sparkling new, and it's home to happy families who tell me they finally feel safe. 2, 1. This ribbon cutting at the new Azure Estates is something some thought would never happen in this federally funded affordable housing estate, formerly known as Stony Brook.
This was an accomplishment that was much needed because the residents have experienced trauma with this type of facility for the last 40 years.
For years, crime plagued Stony Brook. Police a routine presence investigating shootings, assaults, and robberies. Inside, the apartments were falling apart. Rats and roaches everywhere, leaks leading to mold, repairs never done. And fed up, the residents held protest after protest but got nowhere, except some were evicted.
I went to Washington, spoke to the HUD department there. We were able to be assured that a change was coming.
Finally, new owners, the Millennia Companies, took control and just completed an $18 million renovation to each apartment, interior and exterior, including the new community center where today's grand opening ceremony was held. For residents, many single moms with small children who struggled through the tough years here, it's hardly believable.
It was very bad. Now I can say it's a fully changed, and I just want to thank everybody who actually participated in it, and it's wonderful.
It was terrible, very horrible, but the job that they've done, I'm very proud, I'm very happy, and I feel safe.
All right, so fast forward a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, to the incident that y'all hearing about now. So we're gonna play a little bit of that and see the new Azure, you know what I'm saying, after it was changed from Stony Brooks Incident still going on.
Mass shooting in Riviera Beach. It happened at Azure Estates last night. 5 people were shot and 1 person was killed. Reporter Ari Height tells us what police say led up to the shooting and what they think is a possible motive.
The police chief here in Riviera Beach says it appears as though the shooter was having some kind of a mental breakdown, hearing voices in his head. In the end, 5 people were shot. 1 person was killed. The shooting began around 6:15 Monday night inside the Azure Estates community in Riviera Beach. A man police have identified as 20-year-old Terrell Gibson of West Palm Beach was visiting a friend in the community and felt he was being harassed. Investigators say Gibson told them voices in his head insisted he get a gun and shoot people.
The spirits told him to kill the demons, and at which time he shot the people that's in front of him.
Police say Gibson then tried to get away, running out onto Martin Luther King Boulevard, stopping an SUV and trying to steal it.
During this attempt, he shot 3 additional victims and ultimately succeeded to taking the vehicle by force before fleeing the area.
One of the 3 people who was shot is a pastor at Life Center Church in Riviera Beach. People at the church identified him as Pastor James Easley. His condition is unknown. In all, 5 people were shot. 1 person was killed. 2 remain in critical condition, and 2 others have what police describe as non-life-threatening injuries. Gibson was arrested Monday night in St. Lucie County. Police showed a photo of not just the handgun, but the ammunition they say he used.
They had a tumbler magazine, extended magazine with a tumbler. So multiple 30 to 40 different rounds in this clip.
Gibson now faces a long list of charges, including 1 count of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. He's being held without bond. In Riviera Beach, Ari Height, WPBF 25 News.
First-degree murder, capital crime, carjacking, firearm, punch blank light. 4 counts.
The part that y'all all seen all over social media where you were saying that whatever voices told him to shoot the demon.
I see that on this page here. You don't see it on the.
I don't see it on the booking either.
Okay, so we're just doing the counts. I said capital robbery.
It's contained in the narrative. I don't know why it's not contained in the book. But regardless, Your Honor, all of these counts are capital or punishable by life. The state is asking the court to hold the defendant without bond. I have written 2 no contact orders for the same case because there's so many victims.
Well, no contact with any witnesses, no contact with family members that are deceased, no contact with any of the actual victims who are thankfully still alive.
Thank you, Your Honor. And they are all listed on these no contact orders. And of course, no weapons.
Again, these are all either capital crime or crime punishable by life imprisonment. That's anything.
Our office has a conflict will be before I
told Mr. Gibson that. Mr. Gibson, right now the public defender is doing good. Public defender represents you right now. He said they're going to submit an order later.
Can I say something before we start?
Not in your best interest. It's for you to say it. I'm not going to stop you, but it's not in your best interest.
Okay.
Just step back off the microphone a little bit.
Okay. So, sir.
It's getting feedback. That's better.
How you doing, sir? So my problem is I be seeing things, sir. So I'm in the courtroom, sir. All the police that I be seeing, they don't be coming to open the door for me. Well, it's one of the police that's in the room last night. He was actually a good person. Sir, I be fighting things that y'all cannot see. So therefore, how can you put someone in jail that's fighting something that you can't see? When I was on the highway driving, it's 3 cars. What's the devil's number? 6, right? It's 3 cars. Every time I went hitting speed, I'm at a speed limit. I see 3 cars every time I hit the gas. Ain't no cars guilty, right?
One person did. You do have one count.
Nah, nobody died, sir.
I'm just.
You want me to show you how? I shot every one of them people. Nah, shut up, man. Let me talk. Let me talk. I can't talk to the judge, bro.
Everything you're saying is being recorded.
Okay, let me talk. Then if it's being recorded, then it's being recorded. I shot every one of them people in their head. They're not making it back. My cousin, he was supposed to die. That dude that hit the floor, oh yeah, he died. A lot of people were shot in the head, sir, and went back up right in front of my face. So, therefore, how the can you wake back
down in the comments and think if y'all believe that if he saw them get back
How are you
up.
gonna wake back up? Please tell me, sir. That's impossible. You cannot wake back up after somebody shoots you in your head. And if you check that camera, you can tell that these people are with me. I'm chilling to myself, sir, right?
Drop in the comments if y'all
I'm
believe
chilling on
in
the
the money.
bench with my cousin Elmo, right? Okay, so why you keep talking to me and you not letting me talk to him? I can't even hear you, sir. I can't hear you.
Against you at a later trial.
No, it can't be used against me because I'm talking what I can, what my heart need to tell whoever listening, bro.
You will tell that to your attorney when they get
Man, okay, let me talk. Okay, I don't even need you, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do not need you.
trying to protect your
Please,
rights.
I don't need. Can you please tell me shut up, Judge, please? I can't even talk. You're not even.
He's trying.
Thank you, sir.
Judge to tell the public defender to shut up.
Sir, I'm fighting something I can't even see. I see it at night. I see it now looking at you. I don't know how to fight it, sir.
Mr. Gibson, what I can tell you is that your attorney that you're going to get from ORC.
Okay, no camera, sir. I'm sorry.
The attorney that you're going to get can file motions to determine whether you're, number one, competent to stand trial, or whether you were competent at the time. And that's the time that you should be discussing these issues. You shouldn't be discussing them now.
When I was in Stony Brook, sir, and I had that gun, that wasn't my gun, first off. That's
not talking. It's going to say to you later.
Look, sir, I don't care, because I'm speaking the truth in my heart. I don't care about shit you saying, I don't care. I'm talking to that dude right there, the judge right there, I'm talking to him. I'm not worried about that, what nobody's saying. I'm talking to him. I need to get this off my heart.
Mr. Gibson, we're going to be done for now. So you don't have any bond, you have an attorney. Hold them.
So like I was saying, some locations can hold negative energy. And at that particular location, stuff been going on out there for decades. I mean, decades. He not the first one that stood in that courtroom in that same spot for doing something in that same location. You know what I mean? Over the years, I mean, decades, but since probably the 80s, stuff been going on in that inside that neighborhood. You know what I mean? And that complex. So let me know in the comments what y'all think, you know what I'm saying, as far as negative energy lingering around and demonic entities and all of that different kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Do y'all believe him of what he was saying, that something told him to kill the demons, or do you think that it was just mental issues? Drop down below in the comments what y'all think about it. And thanks for watching this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on any other platform, go ahead and follow and check out our next episode.
I'm just gonna let my